Hey guys, it's Yorkie here with a Project Cars 2 video where today we're going to be taking a look at the various assists that are available in the game. Now, the majority of these can be found in the Options tab of Race Central under the Gameplay option. And then we've got the two tabs here, we've got the Authenticity tab and On-Screen Guides and Display. And under the Authenticity tab we have the Steering Assistance, Braking Assistance, the Overall Driving Assist, your ABS, Stability Control and Traction Control settings. And then in On-Screen Guides and Display we have the driving line and also the turn indicator. Starting off with the steering assistance and braking assistance though, these two should be pretty self-explanatory as to what they're going to do. They're going to be helping you with turning the car through the corner and also braking and slowing the car down ready for turn-in. You can't 100% rely on these two assists. You will need to put some steering input and braking input yourself, but it's very much aimed at those who have very little knowledge or have very little experience in driving and racing games, and obviously need that little bit of help just to get them around the circuit. By default though, these options are switched off, so for the majority of players in Project Cars 2, they won't be touching either of these two assists as they would like to have the full control of the car themselves. The next assist that we're going to take a look at is the driving line, which we have three options for. You can choose it between off, having it on set to always, and then set to cornering. Obviously, having the driving line off, it will never be visible on the circuit. Having it set to always will make the driving line appear all the way around the track, and then having it set to cornering will essentially mean that it only appears in the braking zones and the corners and won't be visible down the straights. Now, the driving line is there to show the ideal racing line around the circuit, and it will also change colour based on your speed, indicating whether you need to slow down more for the corner or whether you can take it near enough completely flat out. The next assist is a turn indicator, which is a little icon that appears in the centre of the screen, indicating what corner is coming up next and also its severity. Obviously, it will point in the direction of the next corner, and then it will be color coded based on how severe, how tight the corner is, giving you a little bit of warning as to how much you will need to slow down. By default, this option is set to off, but for the majority of people it will probably remain that way, as the driving line does a pretty good indication as to the next corner that's coming up and showing you the ideal racing line. Next up we have the overall driving assist option, which is apparent to anti-lock brake, stability control and also traction control. Depending on what setting you put this option to, it will determine on what these three settings are going to be doing whilst driving around out on the circuit. Having it set to full will allow you to toggle stability control, traction control and ABS on and off as much as you want, and determine which setting you would like your anti-lock brakes and also traction control set to, as you have the option of having it off completely, set to low or set to high. But having the overall driving assist option obviously set to off, that will turn those three, the anti-lock brakes, the stability control and traction control assists, turn all three of those completely off. And then having it set to authentic, that will mirror what the car has in real life. So if the car has, say, just the traction control but doesn't have stability control or anti-lock brakes, your car in-game is going to have that as well. And likewise, if it has all assists on, it will have all the assists there available for you to tweak and toggle on and off. And then if it doesn't have any assists at all, then obviously all the assists are going to be removed for that car. Keeping it on full though, it will allow you to obviously customize the ABS, stability control and also traction control levels, and there's various different settings that you can have for these. You can have them off if you wish, but you can also have them set to low and then also set to high, and obviously the higher the setting, the greater impact that they are going to have in assisting you as you are driving around the circuit. Just to note though, with stability control, if you have this option on, it will also enable anti-lock brakes and traction control as well, as it needs both those two options for stability control to work. That will mean that if you've got stability control on, you will not be able to turn off traction control or ABS. You will first need to turn off stability control if you wish to turn off or adjust the traction control and anti-lock brakes. To see the type of assists that the car that you are selecting has, you'll be able to see it on the vehicle select screen under the features tab. There it will have the little icon to indicate what type of assist that the car has. So for this Legia GSP2 Honda, it's got traction control, but if I say went to, let's pick another car, the BMW M6 GT3, you can see there it has ABS and also traction control, and these will be the settings that will be applied when you have the assist option set to authentic. Whilst driving around out on the circuit, down in the bottom right you'll be able to see the assists in action. Whenever they flash up green, that means that the assist is being engaged, and then if they are white, that means that the assist is enabled but currently not engaged, active or in use, and then if it's greyed out, it means that the assist is completely turned off. Also, whilst driving around the circuit, you'll be able to toggle the assists on and off as well, and a little message will appear in the bottom centre of the HUD notifying you as to what you've just done with that assist. This only happens though if you have the overall driving assist option set to full. The specific assist icon in the bottom right in the tachometer will also change colour to reflect the latest change, and to find out what buttons or keys are currently assigned to change in the assist, you can check this out in the options menu under controls and then edit assignments. The final two options that we're going to take a look at that are kind of related are the traction control and also ABS strength settings that can be found under the ECU and also adjustable in the ICM in-car management menu. Now the traction control, this allows you to control the amount of wheel slip that the traction control system will allow before it starts to kick in. Using a much higher number will allow for more wheel slip before the traction control starts to kick in, whereas a much lower number will mean that the traction control will kick in much sooner as soon as the wheels are detected to start slipping. In terms of adjusting the ABS strength, the same sort of system applies here. A higher value will mean that the ABS system will kick in much sooner, whereas a lower value will allow for more tyre slip under braking before the ABS system engages and tries to reduce braking lockup. That's going to conclude it for this video looking at the assists. Hopefully you found it useful. If you've got any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, and tune in next week for another tutorial video, this time looking at the in-car management menu. Thanks very much for watching guys, hopefully I shall see you soon, but in the meantime, take care.